Hi, and welcome to Cenario, your partner in mental wellness. Here on our channel, we share educational, insightful, and science-backed content to help you understand your mental health and take meaningful steps toward a more balanced life. If you're ready to learn, grow, and take control of your wellness journey, let's jump right in.
Okay, let's talk about phosphatidylserine. You've probably heard it called PS. It is absolutely one of the hottest brain health supplements out there right now. You hear all this talk about better focus, sharper memory, even feeling way less stressed. But, with all that buzz, the market just gets flooded. So how in the world do you separate the real deal from just clever marketing? Let's dive in and figure that out, right? So you've heard all the great things, but then you go to actually buy some and it's just confusing. The labels all look different, the reviews are completely all over the map, and honestly, it feels like a total guessing game trying to figure out what you're actually getting. And that inconsistency, it's the biggest hurdle for anyone who's looking for real, reliable cognitive benefits. And all that confusion really points to the main issue, something that comes up a lot because the supplement industry isn't super regulated. And that is the potency problem. The number one reason people don't get the results they're hoping for is that what's printed on the label often has very little to do with what's actually inside the capsule. Thankfully, independent lab tests have started pulling back the curtain, and honestly, the results are kind of shocking. To put it really simply, not all PS supplements are created equal. I mean, not even close. When these third-party labs get their hands on products off the shelf, they find these massive differences in how much of the active ingredient is actually in there. And that right there, that explains why some people take it and feel amazing, and other people feel, well, nothing at all. And listen, this isn't just some made-up example. This is real. Independent lab tests have found products that claim to have a solid 100 milligrams of PS, but when they test it, it contains as little as 18 milligrams. 18! Think about that. You could be paying for a full, effective dose and getting less than a fifth of what you thought. This is exactly why independent verification is so critical. So here's a good rule of thumb. When a lab result comes back and shows a supplement has less than 30% of the potency that's claimed on its own label, that is a major red flag. At that low of a level, the product is almost guaranteed to be ineffective. It just means you're not going to get those memory or stress benefits you were looking for in the first place. Okay, so that's the bad news. I know, it's a little discouraging. But the good news is you can absolutely learn to spot and avoid these studs. It really just comes down to a simple verification checklist that puts all the power back in your hands. So here are 4 super practical steps you can take. First up, don't be afraid to ask the seller for a certificate of analysis or a COA. Second, keep an eye out for reputable third-party lab names on the product page. Names like Eurofins or Consumer Lab are great signs. Third, when you get that lab report, compare it to the label yourself. And finally, just try to support brands that are transparent and make this information easy for you to find. All right, let's apply this to some brands you might actually see out there. First, you've got Doctor's Best. It gets really high user ratings pretty consistently, and it uses a well-known source called Serenade. Then there's Now Foods, and these guys really shine when it comes to transparency. They actually publish their batch results right online for anyone to see. Then you've got brands like Double Wood, where potency seems to be a bit inconsistent based on user reports, which makes it really important to check for recent lab tests. And for a popular soy-free option like Intelligent Labs, where past tests have shown potency as low as 18 to 29%, you absolutely must request a current COA before you even think about buying. So, once you've done all that homework and you've found a high-quality, verified supplement, what now? How do you actually use it effectively? Let's quickly cover the essentials: dosing, formulation, and just how to get the most out of it. The best strategy, pretty much always, is to start low. Try about 100 milligrams a day, just to see how your body responds. Now, the common, effective range for getting those memory and stress benefits is typically between 100 and 250 milligrams. Just be aware that taking higher doses can sometimes backfire and lead to side effects like fatigue or a little bit of brain fog. So this is a case where more is definitely not always better. And you know what? The formulation matters too. Most PS you'll find is made from soy. But if you have a sensitivity, don't worry, there are soy-free and vegan options out there. Some people also find that veggie capsules can be a little easier on the stomach. But really, the bottom line is this. Whether it's soy-based or soy-free, powder or capsule, the most important thing is that third-party potency verification. Okay, to pull this all together, here is your final simple checklist. Number 1, make sure it has verified third-party potency. 2, check for a clear PS amount listed per serving. 3, look for positive user reviews that actually seem to line up with the lab data. And 4, just choose a formulation that fits your personal dietary needs. If you can check off these 4 points, you are in fantastic shape. So now that you have the tools to cut through all that noise, I'll leave you with this question to think about. What's going to be the biggest deciding factor for you? Is it the personal stories you read in user reviews, the hard numbers you see in the lab data, or is it the established trust of a brand's reputation? Figuring out your priority is really that final step to choosing with total confidence.
Thank you for watching Cenario. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. For personalized mental wellness supplements, visit Cenario.com. See you in the next one.